I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Shortstop. Bogart stumbles, flips to second. Double play, and the Padres win it. Wow. San Diego shuts out the Cubs with a dominant performance from 4 pitchers, and this Padres smoke show sends the series to a decisive Game 3.
Never heard the word smoke show used like that before. But I guess that's what it is. Hey, what a good baseball game yesterday. What a good baseball game.
Yeah, you really enjoyed that one, huh?
Yep, loved it. Padres 3, Cubbies nothing. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, that's me. Josh Albrecht, that's him. Follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. The show is there as well at Inside Wis Sports. And of course, you can follow The Fan at The Fan Milwaukee and the website, thefanmilwaukee.com. Text us, would you, on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. I'm jumping right into this because of your tomfoolery yesterday. Now I have friends sending me W flags. Like, some of this is going to be hard to forgive.
What are you talking? What are you talking about?
I had to go on another show on this station yesterday.
What?
And plead my case that I'm not a yeah.
Did something happen?
Maybe something happened yesterday.
What happened?
A lot of things were taken out of context. That's what happened. And a kid in the late 80s, early 90s is not allowed to watch baseball without having to declare himself as a fan of the baseball game that he's watching. Is it okay that baseball is fun? Like, listen, look at these games yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of fun
fans
yesterday.
Are living and dying with every single pitch. And this year, honestly, for the first time earlier in the season, that was me with the Brewers. I've got the ADHD. I know, shocker.
I think it's required to be in radio.
Yeah, it is. So I watch sports differently. Usually it's something that I cannot physically or mentally live pitch by pitch, but I could during the Brewers win streak earlier this year. I lived and died by every single pitch, and I cannot wait starting on Saturday to live and die by every single pitch like they did yesterday. I miss it. I honestly miss it. I know that we're resting. We had an inter squad scrimmage yesterday. We're getting healthy, but that's fun, man. Yesterday was a blast. Reds, not so much. They don't think it was a blast.
Well, so I mean, we're going to get back to, your struggles yesterday, and I want to hear all about this, and we will later in the show. But let's talk about these games yesterday and where they line up with what we predicted.
Yeah. So I don't recall. Do you have the list in front of you there?
The games, like how many games, I don't have that. But I know that neither of us had the Dodgers sweeping the Reds.
I did not have that. And neither did the Reds, by the way. They came out fairly decent yesterday.
Yep.
Took a 2-0 lead, I believe, and then the Dodgers were like, how about no?
I mean, the Dodgers dodgered. And it's going to, so the Dodgers put up a lot of runs in both of those two games. Granted, those two games were in LA, right? So they did have that. But I think the Dodgers won 10-5 and then 8-4 in those two games.
Yeah, and they were up, I think it was 10-0, wasn't it?
It might have been. I mean, it was just the Reds offensively never seemed like they were in the game. Anytime they were putting up runs, the game was already gone. And I will tell you this. I'm watching that game against the Reds, Dodgers Reds, and I'm thinking, all right, probably a good thing that the Brewers got that 1 seed.
Sure, but it's also proof that a team that looked really good at the end of the season doesn't necessarily carry that over into the playoff.
100%. All of the teams started the postseason 0-0. All of them. And the Dodgers came out as a 3 seed and went, did everyone forget the last time we were here? We won the whole damn thing. And they crushed. And they looked like the team of, an all-star game on one team, all wearing the same uniform. That's exactly what they looked like. And there's something about playoff baseball and future Hall of Famers that you just go, yeah, this guy's different. I mean, Mookie Betts, they could not have talked more about how Mookie Betts struggled. He had 3 doubles and I think and a single on top. I mean, he crushed in that game last night. And now, if you're a Phillies fan, right, you're thinking like, hey, we almost had the number 1 seed. Now you're facing Ohtani in game 1.
The Reds won, I think, 8 or 9 out of their last 12.
Yep. Hot.
Won the wild card. Pretty interesting that 3 of the NL Central teams ended up in the wild card. My wife and I were talking about that last night. That also shows how good the Brewers were this season in regards to where they landed and ultimately finished. And I think this proves that you can have a super hot streak at the end of the season, and it doesn't necessarily carry over to the playoffs. And would you agree that you can have a super slow end of the season, and that doesn't carry over into the playoffs?
100%. Listen, it's all about being the hot team at the right time. It has seemed in the past that if you can find that spark and then continue playing right away, good things happen. But all the teams start 0-0, and you never know. You never know until it starts. And
you never know until it starts.
And the Dodgers just, they flipped that switch against the Reds. It sucks. I think even though they're in the NL Central, I think a lot of Brewers fans wanted to see the Reds crush the Dodgers for many reasons. And it was, at the very least, I would have loved to have seen it go all 3 games. And it just, unfortunately, Reds were never really in it.
I'm glad the other 3 are going all 3 games.
Yes.
They decided to show up yesterday.
Yeah, which made it awesome. I had a lot of people that were talking about this 3-game wild card series to me and say, how do you feel about the 3-game wild card series? I like it. I wish that there was a way that both teams could get a home game. I understand that overcomplicates things a lot to go 1-1-1. So that's why they don't. But I'd much rather have it this way than have it to where these teams get 1 game.
I think it's a scheduling thing, right? I mean, they got to get these in before the NLDS starts on Saturday.
Right, and you can't have it to where the teams with the bye are sitting around for 2 weeks. But I think that when we go back and we look at those 1-game tiebreaker wild card games, and it's kind of like, just don't even have that spot then. To play 162 games and then have your whole season be determined by 1 game, which the Brewers know, right? We saw that when we ended up blowing that lead to the Nationals. It sucks. It sucks. It's just the whole season in 1 game. So I like the 3-game series. I like it even more when we get all 3 games, which 3 of the 4 ain't bad.
Did the Brewers come into the playoffs last year at the 3 seed, won the division, but didn't get the bye? Played the Mets, right?
Yes.
Mets were the 6 seed. So that's when the wild card round sucks, because you can do all the things in the regular season that you need to do to position yourself well for the playoffs, win your division, and then get bounced in a wild card round against a team that was not worthy of being in the playoffs. They squeaked in last year.
Correct. Right. And so, and the thing is that it, that's totally something that is a bias of what happens in that round.
Sure.
Right. If you would have flipped it and the Brewers would have beaten them, we've been like, well, you won the division. You should have been able to beat us.
True.
Being on the other side, we won our division. We shouldn't even have had to be in that game, or in that series.
The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line up and running already. 414-677-1250. The first text of the day. Dude, you understand that I gave you a ticket to Saturday's, like, Sparky brought this up yesterday.
What did I do? What I do?
You took this to a completely different level yesterday.
Whoa. All right.
So wait, for those that weren't with us yesterday, we had a whole conversation about me watching the Cubs when I was a kid growing up in Southeast Wisconsin, Jefferson. We had WGN, and I didn't have the hatred of the Cubs as a kid because I was a baseball player fan. I was collecting baseball cards. I was watching all of the good players on all of the teams. That's why I loved later in life the steroid era and the Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa thing. Didn't pay attention too much to the Bonds part. And somehow that got swayed from, oh, look at a kid, 8-year-old kid who likes to watch Bozo in the morning on WGN, make all those little ping pong balls before I go to school, to somehow Trevor's a Cubs fan.
Now, okay, you're leaving out the biggest detail. And this is your second full week of being a host of a morning radio show.
I'll maybe do a full week next week.
But you learned that if lifelong friends that were with you in your childhood listen to the show, news and dirt can get dug up.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what you're talking about.
You had someone that knew you as a kid texted into the show and said, Josh, the reason why Trevor feels this way is because he was a Cubs fan as a kid. I read that text on the air asking for you to defend yourself, and your response was, I'm going to cut him. Which had
Sparky
all of us go,
I will cut you.
What? Okay, wait a minute. There's some validity to this then. That's what lit this fire.
What where I said I will cut you is because it wasn't valid. Like, stop feeding gas on a fire that doesn't exist. There is no picture of me as a child in anything remotely close to Cubs gear. I am a lifelong Brewers fan. I happen to acknowledge the ability to watch Cubs games easier when I was a kid than it was Brewers games.
For the record, that's how it was for all. I mean, that's how it was for me too.
Yeah.
I just didn't watch them, but it was much easier to watch them.
Yeah.
The channel was right there. They were on WGN.
I loved listening to Brewers games on the radio when I was a kid. My grandparents always had it on. They lived here in Milwaukee. My dad grew up in Milwaukee, went to Custer High School, which I don't think it's called that anymore. I'm not a Cubs fan. I just simply acknowledged yesterday that I watched Cubs games when I was a kid.
I have to ask, now that you're dealing with this, does this make you hate watch the Cubs and cheer for the Padres even more?
Did you see my text to you yesterday?
To not have to deal with
this is such crap.
People coming up to you at the game on Saturday if it's the Cubs and going,
I swear,
boo, Cubs fan.
Oh my God, if that happens, I will walk right out. It's not the truth. Look at this text I sent Josh yesterday during the game. Padres go up 1-0.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, 1-0, good guys.
Yeah.
Josh says back, and this is what it sounds like in my head, I thought there were no good guys and bad guys. Aren't you just watching it as a baseball fan?
Yeah.
Oh my
Aren't
God.
You?
And I sent the greatest meme of all time with that fat guy sitting at the table flipping
flipping
his office upside down.
Oh.
Words matter, I guess. And I somehow led people to believe that I am a Cubs fan. I'm not a Cubs fan. Every time I say led people to believe I'm a Cubs fan, I am not a Cubs fan. I'm saying that so fast so you cannot cut this up and use this on me later.
I'll find a way. But so
the first text in.
Yes, the first text in saying, yes, Trevor, can't wait till Saturday to see his Cubs beat the Brewers. Wow. I hate that. I hate that.
You hate that. I hate that. You know what else
well,
I hate?
You should hate it. Yeah,
the text messages I got yesterday with the W flag just to mess with me. You know how hard it is not to cuss on the radio when you're called a Cubs fan?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't cuss on the radio.
But that's how not a Cubs fan. There is a picture of me on the internet, and I refused to tell you where, but I lost a bet. I want to say it was 6-7 years ago, and I had to wear a Cubs hat. And it was the worst day of my life.
All right, we got to find that.
No,
I'm gonna work on that.
There's no way you're going to find it.
All right, I'm gonna look real hard.
But it was a bet. I lost a bet. I had to wear a sign on my chest, and I was betting that the Cubs were going to lose the playoff series that they were in back then, and they didn't. And I had to wear the damn hat. Hate it. I'm not just maybe the hardest part for me is I have fond memories of my childhood watching baseball, and that got spun on me so hard yesterday that I couldn't help but watch the game yesterday with a hatred of the Cubs that I guess I need to have as a baseball fan. And then, and I want to talk about this later in the show, I found myself reminding myself how much I hate Manny Machado yesterday, who hits a dinger in the game.
Yeah, he had a bomb.
That got me thinking, who are the most hated villains in Wisconsin sports history?
Ooh.
I'm curious to know what yours are. I wrote down my 5. I have 5, a top 5 list of sports villains in a Wisconsin sports fan's eyes. If you want to participate in that and get your text in now, we'll do that in the morning mind dump coming up at 7 o'clock. Who are your top 5 most hated Wisconsin sports villains? 414-677-1250. We will get to that. What are you searching for?
I'm just looking for photos, specific photo.
The one I just mentioned?
Yep.
Are you just going to... Now who's stalking who on Facebook?
Well, now I have a reason to stalk you on Facebook.
Oh, really?
I'm going to find it. I want to let Brewers fans know, so you don't have to pay attention at this point if you don't want.
Me? Oh.
When you... If you're watching the Padres and Cubs tonight, here's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for it to go 17 innings. You want who wins? I mean, personally, I don't want to deal with Cubs fans, but more than anything, if you don't care about that, you want this game to go so long, burn through all of the pitchers in game 3, because both teams cannot think about game 1. Both teams have to focus on game 3, or there won't be a game 1. So they will not hold back, and they will deplete whatever they have to win. And so we're just hoping that this is a knockdown, drag-out brawl between these two teams. We do not want a game where they, if it's 15-1 either way, that does not help the Brewers.
I'm hoping for a bench-clearing brawl. Somebody hit somebody in the ear hole on accident that they thought was on purpose, and clear the benches, get suspended, and then have the game go 17 innings.
Suspensions would be nice. That helps. Absolutely.
Real quick, as we get to break, reminder, there is an amazing playoff preview show happening this week on The Fan. 97 wins, NL Central champs. How far will the crew go? Get ready. The postseason is right around the corner. Tonight is night 3 of the Fan Playoff Preview Show with Tommy Wirtz and Andrew Wagner. Tonight from 5 to 6 on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. The Brewers playoffs are right around the corner. Josh and I will be there on Saturday. Plans unknown. Why? Because Josh made it sound like I'm not a fan of the Brewers yesterday, and we got uninvited to a tailgate party. That's on you.
Well, you did. I think I'm still allowed to go. I think.
Then
I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go without you, bud. Don't worry.
Right. You're right. You wouldn't. Up next, I have questions. And why does the Brewers' life depend on the Yankees and the Red Sox? That's annoying. We'll talk about that next. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. Josh, I have questions.
Sir. Oh, do you?
I have questions.
I also have questions.
We do this every day at 6:25. Get your questions out. What do you need us to answer? Or maybe what do you just need to ask without it being an answer? I think that's called a rhetorical question. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Here's my first question. Why does the Brewers weekend, or why does the Brewers NLDS schedule depend on the Yankees and Red Sox? I don't understand.
It's a great question. That was actually one of my questions.
Well, sorry, I took it from
That's
you.
okay. That means it's a good question if we both have the same question.
So the schedule came out yesterday, thanks to Adam McKelvey, who is just absolutely killing it on Twitter, MLB beat writer for the Milwaukee Brewers. He put out the 2025 Division Series broadcast schedule yesterday. Saturday is game one of the NLDS, no matter what. The time, however, apparently depends on whether the Yankees advance or the Red Sox advance. That's annoying. So if you look at the schedule, this says that if the Yankees advance, the Brewers become the 108 game. If the Red Sox advance, the Brewers become the 808 game. What am I missing?
Now, those are Eastern.
No, those are Central.
Oh, those are Central. Right.
Yep, 108 Central if the Yankees advance. But if the Red Sox advance, we get bumped to 808 Central.
Right. I don't understand it at all.
I have no idea.
Yankees and Red Sox are in the same time zone, the same area. Like I don't understand it. My only thought was that if it interfered with, a football game or something else that was being used by like a similar stadium, that's not the case with either team. I don't know.
And it's not like the Yankees take our place. If the Yankees advance, the Yankees play at 4:08 Eastern or 3:08 Central. If the Red Sox advance, they get the 1:08 Central time. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can come up with is it's the power of the Yankees. What the Yankees want, the Yankees get. That's annoying.
Yeah, this doesn't make much sense to me at all. It does have me asking though, which would you prefer? If you're watching that game and you really don't care either way which team wins, which for the record, I think I'd prefer Red Sox. I don't want to see the Yankees back. But if you don't care and you're looking at it just from a time perspective for the Brewers, which would you prefer, that 1 o'clock or that 8 o'clock?
It's tough because for selfish reasons, I want the day game because that means I'll be able to go. If it's a night game, I can only go to game one, and then I'm screwed for the rest. I'm screwed for game 5 either way if it's necessary, but I'm screwed for game 2 if it's a night game because my son plays football on Monday nights.
Well, and so does this determine, are we positive that that's the same as they did it in the wild card, where both games are going to be the same time?
No, I'm not positive. You know why? Because on this little sheet of paper I have in front of me, Monday, October 6th through Saturday, October 11th, TBD.
Right.
Why?
A big TBD.
But shouldn't this follow the schedule? I'm missing something. You know what, Josh? Call the Major League Baseball office. Let's get somebody in the horn and ask the question.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get it right on that.
I just don't get it. And listen, I want the day game for a few different reasons. I love watching pitch by pitch, and I'm worried that if it's a night game series, you and I and the morning show, like that's going to hurt a little bit. Just not a lot of it, just a little bit.
So that was the one thing I was thinking about was if it's that 8:08 start, Brewers fans are not waiting until 4 p.m., 5 p.m. to start partying, tailgating, having fun. They're still going to start at noon.
Noon.
And that's gonna be a long stretch to get into that stadium.
I felt that way at Dallas. We went down to their tailgate area at like 2:30 for a 7:20 kickoff.
Yeah, and it was probably already rocking.
It was rocking already. Exactly. It got rockier, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So but here's the flip side. a night game with the roof open at AmFam Field, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets from a baseball perspective in Milwaukee. At least I think that way.
It's tough. I guess I'm fine with either. I'm truly fine with either, but probably the 1 o'clock on a Saturday is better.
It's 1 o'clock on a Saturday.
Oh,
we'll see.
Yeah.
And the crowd doubles it. All right. New York Yankees advance. We play at 1:08 on Saturday. If the Red Sox advance, we play at 8:08 on Saturday. And the rest of it, I guess, is TBD. If they move those times around, I will be annoyed.
Yes.
That should be set. Set the damn games, no matter what. All right. We'll see how it shakes out. Today, we will know today when the Brewers play in the NLDS on Saturday, and we'll wait for the rest. Here's my other question, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
And the question is just, how fun is this? The Brewers had a scrimmage yesterday, an intra-squad scrimmage, during their first-round bye. Bullpen coach Charlie Green was playing the role of the umpire, and the Brewers had the automated ball strike system up on the giant scoreboard in center field, ABS for short. The Brewers players, when he got a call wrong, let him have it.
They were lighting him up.
And I love this because they were having a blast.
Yes.
And that's why this team was good for so long, because they were having a blast.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. Did you see what the top of the dugout said? Magic Brew.
Yes. That has been their marketing tagline that they used. They started putting up on the billboards and everything as soon as they clinched.
I like
It's
it.
a
So it's
Magic
taking
Brew.
a Uke Magic turn.
Yes.
To say the least.
Just a little
Quinn
bit.
Priester talked about this scrimmage yesterday. We went and grabbed that audio. Josh hit it. What do you have to say?
Would it make it a little more exciting, a little more fun if you guys were sold out, if there was fans just packed in America Family Field?
Yeah, I definitely think it would be different. I think it'd be really fun. I know our fans, are the best. They would do something like that. However, our leadership thought that doing what we're doing right now, being together as a group, being a team with, and really, keeping each other, holding each other accountable was kind of the best way forward. And we're really enjoying this time to, like we've been saying, is to compete and get a little uncomfortable, put ourselves into situations that, are hard ones to navigate, whether it's, second and third, nobody out, bases loaded with one, first and third, all those things. And so we're able to control a lot more. And but certainly having some fans there would be an interesting factor, even though it doesn't really, there's nothing on the line. Seeing what they start cheering for and whatnot, it'd be kind of fun.
I have questions.
Okay, go ahead.
How do you think fans would react watching that? Because I've tried, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. My brain works in a way where it puts all potential options and outcomes it can think of out on the table immediately. And the conclusion I came to was it would be like going to training camp for the Green Bay Packers. You're watching stuff that you don't necessarily understand what they're doing. They're not making announcements of what drills they're running, what plays they're practicing. You're in the crowd. You're forming your own thoughts and opinions based on what you're seeing. And then there's also some media people there that are watching it going, didn't look good there.
Well, the media was still there
They're
yesterday.
doing a drill rounding third. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't know that we would be coming away from it feeling any better.
Yeah, so I think about the family night practice that the Packers put on.
Sure, yeah.
It's a highly attended game. Can't argue that. I mean, they
Correct.
sell that thing out or partner every single year. I would have rather seen it in person. However, I hear what you're saying, because the only clip, at least that I saw yesterday, was the team bonding and laughing and joking about all the balls and strikes with Charlie Green behind the plate.
Yes.
And that made me feel really good. Like, to see the guys joking around and having fun. And yes, they're playing and practicing, but they're also bonding. And I wonder, to your point, would they have been able to do that? Right. And in Murphy, I trust. I love that Quinn Priester said, our leadership said, we don't think we want to do that. Let's do it this way. Murphy had a plan the whole time. And I feel like in Murphy we trust, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
So what's your question?
Well, do you agree with me, I guess, on the outcome or the value if it would have happened that way?
Yeah, there was media there too, and I didn't see anybody reporting on anything they saw.
I think your comparison of family night is a good one, but imagine if family night came before the playoffs. You know, if they did a family night before the first game that the Packers had as a playoff game.
That would never happen.
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying it would have been bad. I just can't wrap my head around it and how it would have gone.
That's a good call. And now that we think about it and talk about it, that's a really good comparison because I don't think the Packers, that'd be like them having an inter squad scrimmage practice the bye week of the Super Bowl and inviting the fans to come out and see it. That would never happen. So I get it why they didn't do it, and I'm cool with it. And I also saw the Phillies yesterday have 31,000 plus fans in their ballpark, and everybody's tipping the cap, and they're all excited. So I saw it, the value of a pep rally. But in regard to the Brewers, I'm happy that they did their own pep rally. And I'm hopeful that they went ahead and made it happen.
Yeah, I'm curious. I didn't see any media from that either, but I'd love to see how the crowd reacted and a little bit of video from the Phillies intra-squad scrimmage simulation, whatever they did.
I didn't see any of the stuff on field. I just saw one piece yesterday on Twitter that the Phillies were tipping their caps to the 31,000 plus fans that showed up for an inter-squad scrimmage. So that was the definition of a pep rally. 100%.
Correct. Which I don't think we need a pep rally.
I was just going to say that. I'm okay with them just scrimmaging and practicing and connecting and having fun. I don't know whose idea it was to put Charlie Green behind the plate, but it was genius. And then to have the ABS up on the scoreboard and the guys kind of razzing them a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
Very fun.
That is fun. Can't happen soon enough. It's going to be a hard few days, man.
It's going to be here before we know it.
How amazing is the timing in hindsight that the Brewers play on a weekend that the Packers have a bye?
Yeah, bye week.
Gorgeous.
They get the weekend all to themselves.
I love it.
It's
and
incredible.
As a Wisconsin sports fan, yeah, I'm staring you down. As a Wisconsin sports fan.
Yes, you're talking to me. Yes, as one.
No,
yes.
I'm talking to myself.
Oh,
I'm happy. Why are we Wisconsin sports fans? Because you are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports. Duh, the name. And it's a part of the all-new lineup here on The Fan. Super jacked to be here, 6 to 9, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. And from 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. The Fan Postgame Show, or this week, the Fan Playoff Preview Show, 5 to 6, here on The Fan. You are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time for today's most electrifying sound of the day from yesterday.
Austin Wells. And he lines one into right field. Fair ball. Chisholm to third. He's being waved. Eden coming home. Here's the throw. And he's safe. And the Yankees have the lead on Austin Wells' single. And the speed of Chisholm.
So that was Jazz Chisholm running from first to home on a single that was almost a foul ball off the wall, did not go that far at all. He ran from first to home in 9.16 seconds, which is the third fastest time a player has gone from first to home in the postseason in the StatCast era.
9.16 seconds. And I believe he was stealing, which helped him.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to discredit it because they're saying like his first two steps, because it was a full count, he was, quote, running on the pitch.
He was on the way.
But, I mean, when they had like that camera angle that was all the way zoomed out to where you saw him kind of like looking at it before going full speed, I mean, boy took off. And he needed that, by the way. Like, it was still a bang-bang play at the plate.
Big time bang-bang. But
a huge play. And listen, not that it was, yay Yankees, but that, to me, in a game that does not impact who plays the Brewers, was an exciting play. Exciting call, exciting play in that game.
He was moving 29 to 30 feet per second on his feet.
Yeah, that's insane.
Insane. Never in my life. And I actually noted how awesome that must be to be a grown man playing a kid's game, scoring from first and having your stadium just erupt. That was a fun play to watch.
Yeah.
That is the most electrifying sound of the day. Let's jump to the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. If you'd like to call or text in your thoughts, questions, concerns, or get your morning mind dump out, that's coming up next at the top of the hour. Let's go to the phones. George on the north side. Thanks for buzzing in to Inside Wisconsin Sports. What's up?
Hey, how you doing? So I'm listening to you guys. I love listening to you guys. And what I just want to say is I want the energy for the Brewers to be more, we're going to win, and not more, we're concerned about whether it's the Cubs or whether it's the Padres, because we're the best team. I want us to have the energy that we are the best team. We're not concerned. Don't know other team, like if it was the Dodgers that was the best team, if it was Philly who was the best team, you think that they're concerned about who they're – no, they're not. They're like, hey, whoever's coming, we're going to handle them. We got to speak it into existence and not have any self-doubt or sound like self-doubt, because then what that goes back to is the same old Brewers. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this year we need to be all in. Man, whoever coming, come on. We're going to give it to anybody that comes, because we've been
Josh,
doing it.
are you listening?
Yes,
are you listening?
I am listening. And I appreciate the call, George, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for that. George, my thought first and foremost is don't tell me how to fan.
No, bull.
Okay. Second, God, do I love how he fans.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We need fans like that too. I'm all about that. I'm all about having that energy. And let me tell you, when we get there Saturday, whether the game's at 1 or the game's at 8, all the analysis, all of the hate watching of other teams, all of that's done. That now the curtain's up, it's time to go. And so that's going to happen regardless, for me at least as a fan. But I love his mindset. I love where he's at.
Where did this whole don't tell me how to fan thing come from for you? Because I feel like somebody along the way told you that your fandom sucks. And then you're like, well, don't tell me how to fan, right? Because
God, your impressions of me are always spot on.
That's what my wife sounds like in my head too. Don't worry about it. You ever hear that from your spouse? Like,
all the time she does an impression of me. It's no.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that how I sound?
Yeah, that's exactly what I say. Well, according to George, that's how you sound.
Yeah.
So where did this whole don't tell me how to fan thing come from for you?
Well, in a past life, I've always been this way. I've always been a very passionate sports fan, and I worked with a lot of people who were media people. And so they would look at games and things not from an emotional standpoint. It was very black and white. Here are the facts, and you shouldn't react one way or another to them because here are the facts. And I hated that. And I said, will you stop telling me how to fan? I'm an emotional sports fan. I'm allowed to be that. I'm just as invested, if not more, in these sports teams. I give up a lot of my time, energy, and brain processing to these sports teams. I'm allowed to feel the way I want to feel about them.
There's only so much brain processing that goes around.
And trust me, I think I have a leak. Like, I'm not holding a lot in there, and yet I'm using what I have on things that are completely out of my control. So it's just that, but that's where it came from. Don't tell me how to
that. I lay down at night to go to sleep, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's lay down, let's sleep, let's get a good night rest. And my brain goes, to hell we are. Now is when you're gonna think.
Yeah.
And you're gonna think the most you've thought all day.
We haven't been thinking all day. We're gonna think right now.
We're gonna think all of it, all the things right now.
That's right.
You know that I hate calling myself a member of the media. I hate it.
Yes.
And it's for the exact reason that you just said. I don't care about the facts. I want to be a fan. I don't care about the facts. I want to be a fan. And so on this radio show, in the most positive way possible, if at all costs, we're going to be fans of our teams, not members of the media. I thought about that over the weekend when I was in Dallas. The last place I wanted to be in Dallas was in a press box working.
Yeah.
That's not my jam. I mean, I've been in the locker room. I've sat in the press area. I've gotten the audio. I've done that. And I'll do it if we need that to be done. But I would rather be a fan. And so I understand that comes from somebody spewing facts and stats.
Correct.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And George isn't wrong. He nailed that call. He's saying, boys, let's speak it into existence. Let's be positive. We're not afraid of anybody. And I know that may feel like him trying to tell you how to fan. I don't think that's it. I think he's simply suggesting that we are worrying way too much based on the past. Well, let that be what it is. Be in the present and be excited for what's to come.
Well, and like I said, I love how he's fanning. I appreciate the call, and I appreciate him listening. And there comes a time when even if you fan the way I fan, it still leads to that, right? So right now I'm analyzing the present. Well, in the present, the Brewers aren't playing. I can't sit here and talk about what happened in the regular season. You said that earlier in the week. You were like, man, we just really have to appreciate everything that happened in the season and how the season went. And I hated that because that's what I always have to do. I have to do that every year when the season ends, is I got to go back and I got to reminisce and I got to look. And we're not done yet. We're not done yet. And so I don't want to do that. I don't want to go back and look at how wonderful the things were. That time is going to come, and I'm hoping that I can include this playoff run in that reminiscing. And so I haven't been doing that. Instead, I've been just analyzing and looking at the baseball that's in front of me and how it impacts my Brewer fandom. The second that the Brewers are now on stage, now it's all about them. Now they're playing. Now I'm focusing on them. Now I'm looking at our pitching staff. Now I'm hyped. I'm pumped. I'm going. Right now they're not playing. So I'm looking at everyone else. I'm looking at when the Cubs hit homers. I'm looking at when the Padres have a reliever throwing essentially the best pitch that's ever been thrown in the history of baseball, in a game. I'm analyzing those things because that is what is in front of me.
My push on just remembering what this season was is because of the season that was. This hasn't happened ever before. The Brewers had the greatest record in franchise history. They set a record
all of the majors as well.
Yeah, number one team in baseball, most wins in a row. It's hard as a Brewers fan not to shut off the past. They have broken our hearts. They have chewed us up and spit us out. And it has felt that way for some time as a Brewers fan, frankly, my entire lifetime. Even when I was watching a significantly lesser other team when I was a kid. Still Brewers fan, and at the end of the day, it still hurt. They sucked. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough, and the logo was worse. I said that to Sparky yesterday. That M&B thing with the, I don't know. I'd have to post it to my Twitter page.
I still remember when the crowd erupted at County Stadium because they went 500.
You're right. I remember
that
the days
was the big celebration
when the Brewers were out of the playoffs before the Packers even started training camp.
Yeah.
We're in better times. We appreciate George chiming in. You are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Having more slider. From Mason Miller. About as fast as a human being has ever thrown a baseball.
And look, it's not just the velocity. I mean, 104 is ridiculous, but look at the placement of it. I mean, you couldn't walk up there and set it any better than that.
We have one of them. We're just working on the placement part. It'll go. It'll go. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name is Trevor Thomas. His name is Josh Albrecht. What's up, Josh?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
You can follow us on the Twitter. I'm doing good. I'm recovering from the lashings yesterday in regards to this whole Cubs fan thing.
You're going to be okay.
Yeah, until you play whatever you're going to play later.
I don't know what you're talking about.
At Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh is how you follow along with our lives on Twitter. Follow the show too, Inside Wis Sports. The Fan Milwaukee is where you can find the Fan on Facebook and Twitter. The website, thefanmilwaukee.com. You can listen live there or the Odyssey app.
Or you can watch us on YouTube, by the way. Don't forget about that.
Really
you see our pretty faces.
I'm realizing that I've reached flaky beard season over here. Like, I don't know if you have that. Your beard game is...
No, my beard game's awful.
It's not great.
And it's awful. It's worse if I don't have something there.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hide that area of my neck as well. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
All right, time for the morning mind dump.
Yeah.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. The coffee has kicked in. We are alive and well. The voices are better than they were at 6 a.m., and they'll be better at 8 a.m. as well. Time to get out the morning mind dump. What's on your chest? What's bugging you? What do you want to celebrate? What do you need to get out of your head? Dump it on us. You can do so. Text us. Call us. Your call. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, you got to get something out first.
Yeah, I just, and I almost thought about having this and I have questions, but whatever happened to if you could throw 100 miles per hour, 102 miles per hour, whatever it was, like you were unhittable, right? Like that just used to be a thing. And, we played that clip coming in of Mason Miller for the Padres, who threw arguably the best pitch ever thrown in the history of baseball, 104.5. Right?
Crazy.
But it was like literally perfect on the lower corner, low and away corner, perfect pitch at 104.5. I mean, it was literally 100 out of 100 perfect pitch. But I you look at some of these other guys that like everyone, not everyone, but a ton of people are throwing 98, 99, 100, 101 now. And it's just it's not seeming to matter all the time. They're still finding a way to put the bat on the ball. And it's sending me back to when we were kids watching it. And you had Randy Johnson out there, and it was like, yeah, good luck keeping up with this heat.
Right.
And I've watched sports science to be like hitting a 96 mile per hour fastball should be impossible based on the human eye sending a message to the brain and then coming back, all of that. And then we see guys now throwing it 103, 104, and I'm just like, how is this not unhittable? Like, how are they still getting hits and runs and home run? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I've been to the Louisville Slugger Museum in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, Louisville.
Louisville. It is not Louisville.
No, Louisville.
Louisville.
The more that you can Louisville, it is,
Yeah,
Louisville.
that's exactly how they say it. Hey, welcome to Louisville.
No.
Anyway, they have a batting cage in there.
Yeah.
And you can dial that up and use a wooden bat. And I put one at 90. I stood outside the cage. I watched it, and I quickly put the bat and helmet down and said, not doing it.
Hell no.
You get one wrong I can't imagine take one of those off the fingers on a bat or off your wrist or back or butt. Forget it.
Nope.
How's that guy that got smoked in the face, by the way?
Yeah, I haven't heard much.
Me neither. I think he's at home resting.
Yeah.
He had a number of different fractures in his face. That's how you not catch up to it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought about this very thing, Josh, in the All-Star game when Miz was pitching.
Yeah.
Who was unhittable until the All-Star game. Then all of a sudden the All-Stars are like, no, we can do this.
We figured it out. Yeah. I just, and so I just thought that was really interesting. And it's in my mind going back and forth of just, I don't know how the heck they're doing this now with these 104 miles. It's just unfathomable, and they're still finding ways to hit it. That was one. The other thing that, and now on like a frustrating side of this morning mind dump, 2 days ago, I was supposed to hear what's going on with Brandon Woodruff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we're gonna have that news by the end of the day. TikTok, where are we at? Why nothing? We had media there in front of the entire team yesterday. I still have no answer on the condition of Brandon Woodruff. Why?
In the realm of no news is good news, I don't think that's the case with this.
No. I think that the news is inevitable. I think we all know that more than likely he's done for the season. We don't want to hear that, but I think that's what we're hearing or thinking. But I don't why say we're going to have that news by the end of the day if you're not going to have that news by the end of the day?
Well, maybe they learned something, and there actually is good news to come from it.
You think the news changed from the time that Murph said we're going to have that answer to now?
I'm not wishing this on Woody, but I'm nervous that he's done.
Oh, God.
I know.
Yeah,
it was
I don't want that either.
really tough road back for him, and now he's dealing with the same thing again. He's not a spring chicken.
You remember that game when he came back, that first game back for him, and how he pitched just lights out?
Yeah.
And how good we all felt? Oh, come on, man.
I know. I'm not trying to make that a thing, but I also think that there's some plausibility to this. That, listen, at the end of the day, coming back from injury for a pitcher is ruthless the way it is. He had some shoulder surgery, right? That's what all went on. Then the guy could not catch a break in all of his rehab starts and took one back off the mound, and that made him back on the IL for a little bit. I hope he's back. I love Brandon Woodruff. I think that if there is a face of the Milwaukee Brewers of old and new, it's obviously Yelly and him. I hope they do it right. If he wants to keep pitching, awesome. But do you rush a guy back like that? What's the injury? We'll find out, I hope, soon.
Yeah.
But I'm also not – I am setting myself up for bad news, because if it's good news, I'll celebrate the living you-know-what out of that. But if it's bad news, I'm going to be like, yep, saw that coming.
Right. I'm sitting here going, you told me there was news, and now there's no news. There's not even an update on the news. There's not even a spoke too soon. Sorry, we'll get you something as soon as we can.
Well,
there's
just
nothing. It's just nothing.
Well, we'll see how long nothing lasts. Hopefully we get something soon. So here's my mind dump this morning in the morning mind dump section of Inside Wisconsin Sports. Get yours in, by the way, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line 414-677-1250. I want to know your answers to this question. 414-677-1250. And we've had a couple come in on the Fan Talk and text line that we'll get to in a moment. So I'm watching the Padres-Cubs game yesterday, and I'm noticing, obviously, that I'm cheering for the Padres because I hate the Cubs. Cut that up. I hate the Cubs.
You heard it here first, folks.
Did you? I said it yesterday, too.
Oh.
And then Manny Machado hit a home run. And I was like, can't cheer for that either.
Right.
Even though I was like, oh, good. They're going to beat the Cubs, hopefully. And I hate Manny Machado. And then I sat and thought about it for a second and asked myself, who are the top 5 Wisconsin sports villains? Who do you hate the most? And so I made a list of my top 5 Wisconsin sports villains. I want to know your list, Josh, and I want to know your list out there. I don't care if you give 5, but who in Wisconsin sports history do you hate the most? Maybe I'm trying to light the fire. So we go into the weekend just, you know what? Let's go. It's like that guy in Half Baked. You're cool.
You're cool.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have that. Let's do it. All right, so here's my list. I'm going to start with number 5.
Okay.
that Jesse Winker fella.
Yes, he's also on my list.
Not a fan. And less about what he said out of his mouth and more about his ridiculous celebration when he scored that run at home last year in the playoffs, and then just kind of looked at the crowd like, I don't care what you think of me. Well, good news. We don't care for what we think of you either.
Right. We're in agreement there.
Number 4, Manny Machado.
Yep.
But I had to ask myself, is this all from the Jesus Aguilar kick? Or are there other things that this cat's doing that he just can't get back in my good side?
I think it was that, but it was also the fact that, he was an opponent in the biggest series in recent history for the Brewers.
Brewer killer, yeah.
Yeah.
Also true. This one pains me, and I really mean that. As a guy that hosts an Inside Wisconsin podcast, I love talking to the state's most recognizable people.
Okay.
I want to know their story. That's what John Anderson and I do. We do a deep dive. Tyrese Halliburton.
Ooh, he's not on my list because my list is just baseball.
Oh, God. Okay.
I have a lot of people to hate, but he's a good one. And he'd probably be near the top, if not the top, if there was an NBA specific.
Yeah, I just went Wisconsin in general.
Yeah.
And that really bugs me because I love him when he's on the McAfee show. He's showing up in the WWE stuff. Him and I have in common the Achilles thing. His dude with the Pacers, especially when he's here in Wisconsin, and then throw his dad in there for a little his dad. 3B.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not a fan.
Nope.
See, I'm getting fired up.
I like this.
I am positive Pete, but I also love to dislike the people that deserve it.
You can turn it on a little bit when you need to. I appreciate that about you.
I like to spend a lot of time here, but I'll go here.
Yeah.
Number 2, Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
You remember the hit that he put on Chad Clifton? This is top of mind for me because my son took a semi-cheap shot in his game this past Monday, and he's now dealing with the headache game and the really sore neck game. We actually pulled up the film last night, and he showed me the play when all of this happened, and I was like, that is not the one I thought that you were going to show me because he took a complete blindside coming off the D-line. Now, one thing that Rhodey will learn is that the dude hit him the first time. Do it once, shame on you. Do it twice, shame on me. And it was the same kid that smoked him the second time. But he fell funny and kind of landed up on his head, and then you can see, like, the kid pushed him over and went back on him, and his head got stuck underneath the shoulder pads, and he just tweaked a muscle or something in his neck.
Like that.
Giving him, it was bad. I did not like watching the replay.
No.
I remember that in person, and I'm going, ooh, that didn't look good. But he got up and he kept running, and then he told us after the game, my head was pounding after that. And I'm like, well, you probably should have said something about that.
Yeah, fair.
But when you tell the trainer, you know what happens next?
You're out.
They take your helmet away.
Right.
It just reminded me of the Warren Sapp deal, and I guess that probably came up on my timeline somehow because I was probably searching for something in regards to Rhodey's hit. Yeah, that was so bad, so dirty. That was as dirty as the hits come in the NFL. All right, here's my last one.
Yeah.
This should not be a surprise. It's Craig Counsell.
Okay.
And that sucks. Josh, you'll remember this. There was a commercial when the Brewers brought back the MB logo.
Yeah.
The glove and the mitt.
Yeah.
And the ball. And he was like, I grew up with this.
Yeah,
this is my childhood.
I watched that commercial 1,000 times.
Chills, and more chills. We're doing this for you, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He tapped into the emotions of my life and made me go, this is everything I ever hoped as a Brewers fan. And then just cut me right in half. Square down the middle with a chainsaw, top of the head, done.
Yeah.
Spilled my everything out.
You might not know this. Craig Counsell was my favorite Brewer. I loved him as a player. I loved his goofy batting stance. I loved him as a great coach. I had a framed, signed Craig Counsell jersey. It killed me when he and I immediately started saying it's okay if he goes and he manages the Cubs, but they suck and they don't do anything of value for a couple years, and then we don't hear about Craig Counsell for 10 years. We'll still just remember the good times. So be able to come back. We'll celebrate him and everything he did in Wisconsin. Blah blah blah.
That.
Yeah, it's not happening. The more that he succeeds, with the Cubs, the hatred just grows. That being said, I did not include him in my 5.
What?
I know.
That's a miss.
I'll tell you why. Here's my 5. First of all, Winker is on there. Winker and Machado are both on there.
Yep.
After that, for me, it's all Cardinals.
Okay. You did say yesterday they're the bane of your existence.
Correct. Number 3 is Albert Pujols. The reason why he's third is because I hate him, but I also respect him. I'm that Ron Burgundy clip of, I hate you, but God, do I respect you. That's me with Albert Pujols, because I had to watch him for way too long destroy baseballs at Miller Park. I mean, he just loved doing well at Miller Park, and it sucked. It sucked to watch. So he was number 3. Number 2 is David Freese. And he is simply because he was a nobody who got super duper hot, became the hottest guy in baseball against my team in 2011, sending them to a World Series, to where then he went on to continue doing well. And I think he was even like the MVP of the World Series that year, and then became like a nobody. But when it had to be against my team, in the chance that my team had to win the World Series, David Freese had to exist. I will forever hate him. And the number one,
it's not Craig Counsell,
is Yadier Molina. And the fact that Molina didn't make your list is kind of crazy to me.
But why do you hate him?
Okay, first of all, Cardinals. And he was good. But his attitude sucked. The way that he acted sucked. In 2011, he had that whole thing with T Plush where they were throwing their chew at each other. It became, I hate him. His attitude is, he can be the greatest catcher of all time, whatever the Hall of Fame wants to say. His attitude and who he is, garbage. Hate Yadier Molina.
All right, noted. Let's get to a couple of these on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. 414-677-1250. Who do you love to hate?
Yeah. We got Rourke from Franklin, who said, have loved the first 2 weeks of the show, guys. Thank you so much. He said, sports villains in no particular order. Colin Kaepernick. It's one we left off.
Yeah.
Craig Counsell, Coach K, Joe Barry, and NBA trade rumors in general.
Yeah, I hate that too. That's a good call.
That's a good list. The Joe Barry one's funny. That one's funny to me.
Here's a good one from Ryan in the Falls. The top 5 I hate. 5, Tony La Russa, for probably all the reasons you were mentioning.
Yep.
4, Yadier Molina.
Yep.
3, Manny Machado. 2, Jesse Winker. 1, Craig Counsell. We're on the same page.
Yeah, I think that's a fair and good list.
Here's another one from the 480. Ryan Braun. Are we not over that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. See, like what?
Well, don't hey. Don't tell him how to fan.
Oh, you got me. I do want more information though on why. Is it really just because of the fact that whole scandal for that one season?
By the way, me telling you how not to fan, or me
Did it feel
using
good?
your line, yeah, it was at 1 hour and 18 minutes into this show. So when we go and create new show opens, that's where you're gonna have to go and grab that, because we're definitely using that.
Okay, I already forgot.
Yeah, Ryan Braun, Jesse Winker, Manny Machado, his ears too. They're ugly. That's funny. Ooh, Marquette basketball. Not a fan. Like hatred. All right, I get that. And then Cubs fans, which I 100% agree with. And he says they're tied with Vikings fans. I don't think so. It's not even close for me, frankly. Remember the purple sombrero thing with?
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Here's a few more, and then we got to get to a break, because up next we have a guest on today's show.
Yes,
Dave Schrader, the sports director from WBAY TV Channel 2 in Green Bay. The guy has covered some sports in his day. We look forward to chatting with him. Last one, the Dominican Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kicker.
The stomper.
Right. Him, the kicker, the stomper.
Dirty,
you ever see that
dirty
clip?
player.
Him and TJ Lang were on a show together, and they kind of walk in a room, and there was not a lot of love.
I bet.
It was not a love-hate relationship. Just hate.
Just hate.
Hey, remember to tune in this afternoon, early evening, the Fan Playoff Preview Show with Tommy Wirtz and Andrew Wagner tonight, 5 to 6 on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. You are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Dave Schrader's next. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. For Mr. Albrecht, the show too is there. Inside Wis Sports is how you follow us on Twitter. You can follow this guy on Twitter as well. His name is Dave Schrader. He's the sports director at WBAY TV, Channel 2, here in Northeast Wisconsin, where I call home. Dave, good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on.
You too, guys. Glad to join you.
All right, so what is it? At Schrader WBAY, right? That's where we can find you on Twitter?
It is.
You have covered a sport or two in your day. Your bio is impressive. 8 Super Bowls, 3 Final Fours, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Final, 2 golf majors, the Ryder Cup, 2 college football championship games, and, of course, the MLB playoffs. Let's start there. A lot of people are nervous that the Brewers didn't exactly go into the offseason on a heater. And yet the Reds did, and they're already home from their flight in L.A. last night. Tell us why we shouldn't be worried.
Why you shouldn't be worried. I've seen a lot of crazy stats, but I want to give credit where credit is due, but I forgot who tweeted this yesterday. But there have been 3 teams like in the NL in the last 25 years to have 7 players with OPS over 700, and 2 of them are the Brewers. I'm impressed by that. I think they're also due. The last time they had the best record in the NL, they did go to Game 7 of the NLCS. I know they haven't advanced since 2018. I would say the pitching is impressive. I wish Brandon Woodruff were fully healthy going into these playoffs. I'd feel really good about a World Series run. But that said, Freddie Peralta is amazing. Quinn Priester, until that last start, was an automatic win. I was joking you should play him 1 inning every single game. You're guaranteed to win every single game. But I'm just impressed with what they've been able to do with so very little. And I think this is the year that they make a good, strong run for the first time in 7 years.
Well, I'm a huge fan of that. When you are watching the series between the Padres and the Cubs, what are you seeing, and what should Brewers fans be paying attention to that we're going to see from whoever ends up coming to American Family Field?
Well, if you face the Padres pitchers of yesterday, get ready for triple digits, right? My goodness, how many times did they hit 100 on the gun? I think they said the slowest fastball by a Padre pitcher was 96, and the average was over 100. Dylan Cease, man, he was pretty good. In Miller as well. So I was very impressed. I had one eye on that, one eye on doing my work in the office. It's one of those things with those afternoon games as you're getting ready for the evening shows. You can't do everything at once. But every time I looked up, it was 100. And I know that the Cubs couldn't even muster a base runner between the 4th and then until the 8th and then until they got one. I also, if they get the Padres, either way, they're storylines, right? Public enemy #1 Manny Machado from that 2018 NLCS, either that or Craig Counsell. There's going to be storylines either way.
Is there something to be said? And Josh and I have been bantering about this all week. There's a part of my fandom, and I know you're a member of the media, so you're not supposed to be a fan, but I don't care about that. I'm a fan. Josh is a fan.
I'm definitely a fan.
I want to bounce the Cubs from the playoffs. However, I can't decide if there is a worse team to play in this. Do we want the Padres? Do we want the Cubs? How do we match up with those 2 teams, Dave?
I think you're very familiar with both. I mean, you just played the Padres and you play the Cubs all the time. It reminds me a lot of my college football allegiance. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. And last year, Notre Dame got in the college football playoff, and it looked like they were going to play IU from the same state. And it's really interesting in that it's the same type of thing. You really want to have bragging rights on the team from your division or in the college football playoff from your state. But you sure don't want to lose that matchup because you're never going to hear the end of it if you do. So it's fun. And for my Irish, it worked out. They could say, "Oh, that was nice. We thumbed you. Go back to Bloomington." But the IU's good again this year. But it's kind of in the same vein, if you ask me. And I understand with you guys as fans how you could feel trepidation about that. If I told you they're going to win, you want the Cubs every time. If I could tell you they're going to lose, you don't want the Cubs every single time.
There you go. That's it.
Right. So do you know that answer? Can you tell us what's going to happen? Do you know? You have a crystal ball?
Well, I'm predicting NLCS at least in a deep run. So sure.
It doesn't matter who we play, is what he's saying. I like that.
That's what. Yeah. We've been talking about and focusing a lot on the Brewers and the MLB postseason because it's a lot of fun to watch. But we should also talk to you about this Packers team and just get your thoughts on kind of where they sit in your mind right now after 2 incredible games followed by 2 not so incredible games. As we spent a lot of time at the beginning of the week and last week trying to figure out this team's identity. Where do you think the Packers' identity is right now?
Through 2 weeks, through 3 weeks, you would say it's 100% a defensive team. Last week, we saw all the offensive fireworks and we saw the special teams meltdowns. Gosh, the identity, as much as you're going to hate to hear it, is an inconsistent team right now. But Matt LaFleur trying to calm everyone on Tuesday, saying our goal is not to be our best right now. Yes, we want to win every game, but the goal is to be peaking in time to make the run for the playoffs. Our goal is to improve every week, which, I mean, a lot of that's coach speak, but I get it. It's true. The Patriots made 8 straight AFC championship games, and they were 2-2 through September in 4 of those years. I think that's instructive. I think today's NFL is different, where you don't play starters ad nauseum throughout the preseason. You get to September. I talked to Brian Gutekunst once walking over to practice years ago before an opener, and I'm like, "What's this like for you?" He said it's like kind of like a kid opening a Christmas gift, because you think you know what you're going to get, but you're not totally sure what you're going to get because the preseason doesn't prepare you the same way it used to be. So it's always interesting in September. I think right now the Packers, obviously, for all that they did well, they're in second in the North. Right now, if you had to ask me what this team is, they're a team that's going to have to prove it on the road in the playoffs if they can't leapfrog the Lions again, which they'll have every opportunity to do. They'll play the Lions again. They play the Eagles. They play some really big games down the stretch. But at this point, they've given away the advantage they had with the head-to-head win and with starting 2-0 gangbusters.
He is Dave Schrader, WBAY TV, Channel 2 here in Green Bay. He's the sports director. It's a new role for him. He's been with the sports department for a minute and in sports for a while. How long ago did you become the big director of sports? Was it just this past year, right?
Yeah, in May, late May.
It's pretty cool. So tell us more about the Packers team and what we saw in Dallas. And there's one thing in particular. Matt LaFleur has a habit of falling on the sword for his guys. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the next segment as well. A buddy of mine called me yesterday and he said, I am so done with Jordan Love. And I went, what am I missing? Like, I feel like he just played one of his better games ever as a Packer. And then you watch his press conference and compare it to Matt's, and Matt is falling on the sword with all of the play calls. Not a good play call. Shouldn't have called that play. Should have done this. Maybe I would have taken it and, run the ball and just get to halftime. And then you watch Jordan's, and after the game, it's the complete opposite. Well, I thought that was a good call. Well, I would have never wanted to just run the ball and quit before halftime. Who's at fault?
To be clear, they're both at fault. And to be clear, they're both lying. They're both doing the right thing, right? It's a coach's job to protect his players, unless he really needs to send a message and light a fire under someone. And Matt LaFleur is not one to do that through the media. He won't. From his day one on the job in 2019 till his last day on the job, whenever that is, he's not going to throw players under the bus. That's Matt LaFleur. And for Jordan Love, the quarterback, he's doing the same thing. He's backing his coach. He's taking it on himself. I believe the blame for deciding to use that final timeout and to try to go for it when the odds of getting in field goal range are astronomically low at that point, with like 20 seconds and 30 yards to go without a timeout, it was asinine. But at the same time, if you're Jordan Love, you've got to realize, I can't sit back there all day. The number one bad outcome is a strip sack. I mean, an interception's bad, but they'd have to return it to you. A strip sack is the number one worst thing that could happen on that play, and he allowed it to happen. I think his trigger's got to be quick. He's got to have a decisive read, and he's got to get that ball out, either that or eat it, or do anything except hold the ball back here for Houston to take a swipe at. So they are both definitely at fault. I remember watching that. I'm like, you just gave away all the momentum on the blocked PAT. Then you allowed your first half touchdown all year, and now another one 32 seconds later. This went from another tour de force showing, this one on national TV, like the Thursday Nighter, to, oh my gosh, this is going to be a game all day long because you just let the Cowboys have confidence heading into the locker room.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So to my last question here for you in regards to the Packers, you talked about how inconsistent is what you'd put on as the identity.
Yeah.
After this bye week, they have an opportunity against a Bengals team. Now, I personally thought they had an opportunity to right the ship in Dallas after Cleveland. I was like, this is week 4 against Dallas. That's when you can say, hey, game 3 was a fluke. How do you see this team performing after the bye against the Bengals?
Quite well. They got right on offense. They put up 40 points in Dallas. I don't think anyone in the right mind saw this coming, giving up 40 on defense with CD Lamb out, this, that, and the other. Let's be real. Dak Prescott played an amazing game, a game that Jake Browning is not currently capable of. He just got thumped by like 30-some to the Vikings. And then who did they lose? Oh, Denver got him Monday night, and that one wasn't close either. Their coach just said, Browning's our guy. I don't think we need another quarterback. Well, things can change in the next 11,
Correct.
10, however many days are left. I don't think the Bengals are going to pose problems on either side of the ball. Now let's look at their special teams, and you might have a game. But I think at this point, that's a
Too
pretty
soon. Too soon.
That stung a little bit.
Dave Schrader, the sports director, WBAY TV, Channel 2 here in Green Bay. Dave, thanks for jumping on. If you're watching with us on YouTube, as we wrap up this and get to a break before we head into more conversation about this whole Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur thing, I have more questions for that, Josh.
Yeah.
Last thing, Dave has a shirt on that says Yosemite National Park. That is one of 55 national parks that you've been to?
Yeah, there's only 8 that I have not been to. I proposed to my wife on top of Half Dome in Yosemite years ago. I've been there like 12 times. Best place ever.
What's your favorite?
Yosemite.
Okay. Just for emotional reasons?
Yeah, I keep going back for a reason. I love Half Dome, El Cap. Anyways, if you don't know about Yosemite, you're like, what's he droning on and on about? But if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You know.
And he knows sports. We appreciate you jumping on. Dave, don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you back on Inside Wisconsin Sports, man.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll chat soon. All right, Dave Schrader, WBAY TV sports director. The guy has seen a thing or two. And if you know, you know. I want to talk more about this Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love thing. And I understand what Dave just said, that Matt LaFleur will forever and always never throw a player under the bus in the media. But I wonder what the difference is between that and giving and sharing accountability where accountability is due. Let's talk more about that next. Hey, big fans of the Brewers playoff show. Remember to catch it here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan from 5 to 6. Tommy Wartz, Andrew Wagner, tune in tonight. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What are the songs that the other shows get to play? Because I feel like of our little shuffle game here with the button that you hit for these songs, like I feel like it's on repeat for us. So in the break, Josh,
Yeah.
just play a bunch of them in the background, like 20 of them, and then everybody else will have new ones later today. And
well, unless there's only like 25 in the bag of bumps.
Well, when you put it like that, I guess that's true.
We'll
Welcome
work
back
on it.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I know you'll work on it. You're very good at picking songs for particular reasons.
This is killing me that I can't.
I know it is. I'm sorry I keep bringing it up. Hey, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Trevor Thomas is at Trevor Thomas IW. That's me. Josh at On Air Josh. That's him. The show at Inside with Sports. Facebook and Twitter for at The Fan Milwaukee, the website, thefanmilwaukee.com, and the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. There's a lot going on that today. We really appreciate you guys chiming in. 414-677-1250. We want you to be a part of the conversation. I don't want you to just listen to us. I want you to partake with us. I want your opinions. I want you to talk Josh off the ledge. I want you to tell, forget that Cubs fan stuff. I want you to tell me, like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, but apparently at the top of the next hour, there's a surprise for me today.
Oh,
super excited about that. I made an appearance on Sparky's show yesterday afternoon, and leave it to you to go clip that up and apparently play some audio back on that as well.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss next segment.
Great. Super pumped. All right. Can you help me understand the difference here between where accountability lies and where someone is just falling on the sword because that's what he believes his job is to do? We're talking about Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love. Matt LaFleur in his post-game presser and then again earlier this week came out and said, listen, not great play call. Should have done that differently. If hindsight was 2020, I would have run the ball and just gotten into halftime. And then you go and listen to Jordan Love's post-game press conference, and it's the opposite. Nope, those were good play calls. I should have did this differently, or, I should have been more aware of the clock, or I should have been more aware of the pocket when we had that strip sack. What? Help me.
Yeah.
Help.
So I call this, and I can't say that I've done this for years because I literally just came up with it, but I call this I am Spartacus syndrome of if you have a team that has to be together, right? You got to win as a team, you lose as a team. And you know that you're going in front of the media and you have to answer those type of questions, giving the answers of, well, it's on me. This one's on me. It was no one else's fault. If you always approach it that way, in the no, I am Spartacus way, then it's going to confuse the media. It's not going to allow anyone to jump on any one specific player based on them saying one thing or another. And you see it across all sports. There was I don't remember who it was, but there was a Yankee who got pulled early in game 1 against against the Red Sox. And then he said, afterwards, like, I had stuff. I thought I still had stuff, and I was hoping to still go, but that wasn't my call. You say something like that, right? Now that ignites something. Now people can go, ooh, see, he wasn't happy, so it had to have been the other guy's fault. That's not what the Packers do. That's not what the Packers have done under Matt LaFleur the entire time. Essentially, as long as Jordan Love's been here, right? We had that with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was honest. Aaron Rodgers would say things that made you go, okay, well, he wasn't happy about that.
We know where that stands.
Correct. With Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur and their relationship, it's always been, no, it's on me. That's on me. I got to be better. I am Spartacus. It was my fault.
So this came up in conversation because a buddy of mine called me yesterday and he said, I am so done with Jordan Love. And I went, huh? What do you mean? Like, he just played one of the better games he's ever had. Over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, looked like the leader on the field. Granted, that last few minutes was not his best moments, but I also have to chalk that up to there's still a learning curve. That's the first time he's been dealt that situation towards the end of the game. I don't understand why anything under 2 minutes isn't 2 minutes, but I guess we'll just have to chalk that up to it was what it was. But it made me think, we're really not questioning Jordan Love, are we? Are you questioning Jordan Love?
No.
Okay, good. I'm not either. And it made me think that I should be.
Well, so here's the other thing, too, is that I'm also a fan that if there's an excuse to give, I don't ignore it. So if, Jordan Love has a bad game, but we had injuries out on the offensive line, then it's easy for me to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, well, yeah, but we were missing Zach Tom and we were missing Banks and we were missing these guys. So was it really his fault or was it not? It's more difficult for me on a coaching perspective to give the excuses. But especially in Jordan Love's case, no, if I have the ability to say, yeah, but the offensive line wasn't there, I'm going to end up defending Jordan Love.
And the offensive line wasn't there.
Correct.
My buddy brought that up too. There's some clear holes in the offensive line. Hopefully people are getting healthy. I want Devontae Wyatt back, who we learned this week is a day-to-day type of thing for the D-line. All right, well, thanks for putting that to bed, because I thought he was nuts. I was like, what do you mean you're questioning Jordan Love? And I brought up all the things that we talked about yesterday and some of the audio that we learned from Matt LaFleur and hindsight being 2020 and all the things, but it really did take me a little and go, oh God, did I miss something?
Ask him to participate on Take Back Tuesday and see if he takes that take back, because I feel like that's an emotional response to just being frustrated with the last two games, and it's easier to point the finger at the quarterback.
We'll see how that goes. We got a week to figure that out, unless something happens with Jordan Love between now and next Tuesday. But I'll take the under on that.
Yeah.
All right, top of the next hour, something's happening. There's this stupid saga continues with what I said yesterday, that I did not hate the Cubs when I was a kid. Notice my word choice. I did not say I was a Cubs fan. I am not a Cubs fan.
Oh.
I just happen to have the games on in my house more often because I grew up in Southeast Wisconsin, Jefferson County. That was one of those weird spots where our cable package had both Madison and Milwaukee stations, yet you had to, sometimes at my grandparents' house, you had to turn the little dial thing and you would get channels one way, but not anyway.
Yeah, yep.
The Cubs were on. That's it. I even looked up like who some of the greatest players were, and let's just say 1992 or whatever. And a lot of those names I recognized from my childhood. I've mentioned a number of them. I have no idea how this went sideways. But I guess we're going to learn a few other things at the top of the next hour, which is going to make it totally worse.
It did go sideways pretty quickly.
During our show or Sparky's?
I think in our show, and then, during Sparky's show, it just, the flames got fanned a little bit here on the Fan. And I'm wondering if maybe you are just a little bit in denial because you're scared of the truth.
When I said yesterday that I will cut you, that was to my buddy Jason.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what he's talking about me denying the truth from my childhood. I wasn't a Cubs fan. He's honestly blowing smoke. And unfortunately, the dude's a firefighter. He knows where there's smoke, there's fire, Jason. And now we have fire.
I trust firefighters. I don't think he'd lie.
Well,
so
I'm going to call him in the break, I think. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Hey, I want you guys to be as excited. I want to know where that came from so that I'm not a liar. But I don't remember being a Cubs fan. I was not.
Okay.
Absolutely not a Cubs fan.
Hey, all right.
Hey, we're jacked about the new lineup. We hope you are too. Josh and I are having a blast. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, 6 to 9 every morning here on the Fan. Then 9 to noon comes in with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Depending on how this goes, I'm never going on Sparky Show again. 5 to 6 is the Fan postgame show with Tommy Wartz, and make sure you tune in today. It's been going on all week. The Fan playoff preview show with Tommy Wartz and Andrew Wagner again tonight, 5 to 6 on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. Our show notes say audio from Sparky's show. What could go wrong? The talk and text line is already flying, Josh. Thanks for throwing more gas on the fire.
Listen, I just think people should hear what happened. That's all.
414-677-1250. Inside Wisconsin Sports, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
time. Bogart stumbles, flips to second. Double play, and the Padres win it. Wow. San Diego shuts out the Cubs with a dominant performance from 4 pitchers. And this Padres smoke show sends the series to a decisive Game 3.
A decisive Game 3. Yesterday, I commandeered the conference room here at the radio station. There's a big projector, and I projected that game up on that screen, and I called it show prep. I wasn't lying.
I love that. Need to be left alone. I'm prepping the show.
Yep. No talkie, just watchy. Welcome in, guys. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We call it The Fan. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee, or listen live on thefanmilwaukee.com, or download the Odyssey app. You'll be able to find us there as well. The Nicolay Law Fan talk and text line is open and ready. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. I say that begrudgingly because based on where I think this conversation is going to go, that text line is going to light up even more so than it has already, which, by the way, I'm going to pause here for a second and say thank you. Thank you. Like, there are so many people with so many kind words about the show here in the first few weeks. And they tell us where they came from or what they're doing and why they're listening. And Josh is the best. That seems to be a common theme, which I also really appreciate.
The check's in the mail, thank you.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So keep it coming, hey? Or if you don't enjoy the show, don't tell us. How about that? But the Nicolay Law Fan talk and text line
Either way,
is open.
keep listening.
414-677-1250. Yeah, there's one particular texter that is listening, even though it's currently the bane of my existence. All right,
I appreciate him.
Where is this going? What are we doing?
Well, listen. All right, if some people, they might not have tuned in on their drive-in yesterday, and they might not be aware of the whole story of, Trevor just letting us know that he watched a lot of Cubs games as a kid. And this all started because I, as a passionate Brewers fan, hate watch the Cubs. And I do not want them to come to American Family Field. I do not like them. It is hard for me to watch them play baseball and cheer for them or even just not hate them. Meanwhile, Trevor goes, well, you should just be watching this and enjoying a baseball game. Yeah. And I didn't understand how a Brewers fan could watch a game that the Cubs are playing, knowing that outcome impacts if they're playing the Brewers, and just watch it and enjoy it as a baseball game. And that's when we learned that you watched a lot of Cubs baseball as a kid and that you are just a baseball fan.
Yes.
And that led to a lot of our listeners wanting to point out, I think that Trevor might be a Cubs fan and not want to admit it.
Trevor is not.
That led to Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, who hosts a show in the afternoon, said, I got to have Trevor on. And here's a little bit of that if you missed it.
I didn't see the Cub thing coming, man. I didn't see it. Charlie is smiling and clapping and nodding his head.
Ridiculous.
Clapping.
This is absolutely
He's very
ridiculous.
excited. Listen, you do a show called Inside Wisconsin.
I'm not a Cubs fan.
It's not Inside Illinois or anything like that. It's Inside Wisconsin, man. What is going on? I'm going to shut up for a little bit. I'll talk again, but I shut up. I want you to set up the story about how you got tied into possibly being a Cubs fan, which you now deny, but just set up what led to this, please.
I grew up in Jefferson, Wisconsin. And
not Jefferson, Illinois.
No,
Wisconsin.
not Jefferson, Illinois.
Okay.
Jefferson, Wisconsin.
Right.
The cable provider when I was a kid, the only baseball that was on TV was WGN. And so I grew up watching the Cubs and was a sports card collector. And so I followed good baseball players. The Cubs had a couple back then, right? So did Seattle, if you might remember. This guy named Ken Griffey Jr. Or the White Sox with Frank Thomas. So I didn't grow up a Cubs fan. I just happened to watch the Cubs on TV more than any other baseball team because that's the way my childhood was. And I mentioned Bozo the Clown this morning.
Oh, I related to that. I watch Bozo every morning.
Thank you.
I'm in
Thank
on
you.
Bozo. I'm with you.
So on summer break, when I'm chilling at home by myself, the Cubs games were on WGN. I am not a Cubs fan. I want to be clear. I do not root for the Cubs.
But
I
Trevor,
simply acknowledged a couple good players this morning, and this has taken a turn.
Yes, but see where I struggle with this is, Charlie, this morning when him and Josh were going back and forth, and Josh was in his glory because Josh was eating up. People were texting in. At one point, Trevor said on the air to one person, "I will cut you." He said it on the air. I don't know who the dude is, but I'd be running and hiding. Trevor's a big dude. Don't want to mess with Trevor. But anyhow, I've never heard Trevor like that. I was like, whoo, this is a different side of Trevor. I did see that one coming. I did not see that. But this is where I got a little bit concerned as a Brewers fan. You kept saying the same thing, which was, I'm a baseball fan. I'm a baseball fan. I told Josh, I go, that's the wrong answer. The correct answer should have been, I'm a Brewers fan. I hate the Cubs. Screw the Cubs. When you say you're a baseball fan, that leaves you free and clear of being attached to kind of anybody at this point and really having hate or dislike towards anybody when you just casually say, I'm a baseball fan. Like you say, hey, I'm a baseball fan. I live in North Dakota. I understand. You don't have a team. You could be a baseball fan, right?
I'm just talking about when I was a kid.
Well, what about now?
Now I am a huge Brewers fan. I only cheer for the Brewers ever. As a matter of fact, just a little bit ago, the Padres went up 1-0.
Yes.
And I texted Josh, hey, 1-0 good guys. And he goes, well, I didn't know there was good guys. I thought it was only baseball. Here we go. I'm not a Cubs fan. Listen, I just have childhood memories of Mark Grace and Andre Dawson and Ryan Sandberg. But I watched those guys, just like Frank Thomas and Ken Griffey Jr. and all the other players that played when I was a kid.
And it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I was going to say, were you going to play the whole show? God.
Now, I just, so I wanted to make sure that everyone got every side of the story. And you were able to say what you needed to in this light.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about what happened right before the segment. Okay, because
just now, you mean?
Yes. Because
so I said I was going to call my buddy Jason.
Correct.
In the break.
Now, Jason, fill people in, was the person who ignited this by texting in yesterday and saying, well, it's because, Josh, Trevor talks this way because he was a Cubs fan as a kid.
Okay.
He was the one that lit this fire. Okay, you called him.
I called him and put him on speakerphone.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if you were still in the studio, you'd be able to hear it. And if so, I said, Josh, I trust you with this because I know Jason isn't going to throw me under the bus. This guy's been one of my best friends literally since kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like if we played together back in the day, it was me, Jason, Ryan, and Brady. It was us four, forever and ever, amen. The guy, we played all the sports, all the things, everything from my childhood, for sure up until high school. Jason was right there. And so I called him and I said, am I misremembering? Was I just this blatant Cubs fan when I was a kid? Was I like, you said something about truth yesterday, and what did he say, Josh?
He said, no, not that I remember.
Pause. No, not that I remember. Okay, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Then he said,
yeah,
but this is great. And this is how you know, like he really knows. He goes, but whenever we were playing wiffle ball in the backyard, you always said, I'm Andre Dawson. Of all those players that you just named in that clip with Sparky, as you said, I was a sports fan. I was a baseball fan. I collected cards. There were tons of good players. There was Frank Thomas. There was Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, I mentioned Dawson yesterday.
And you mentioned Dawson because according to your buddy Jason, that's who you chose to be. And I, first of all, I love that because how fun is that as a kid, right? When you're playing with your friends and being like, no, I'm this guy. I'm going to be, just, man, it was such a different time. I can't, not to get off on a tangent, but my 8-year-old just doesn't understand. I wanted to be Michael Jordan so bad. And there's no one that, like, no athlete that he looks at nowadays. He's like, man, I wish I could be like him. It's just wild. But that was our childhood. That's what we did. We wanted to be these people. And you chose Andre Dawson. I wonder if it's because You enjoyed watching him in a Cubs uniform because that's what all you could watch. And that settled in you as being a little bit of a Cubs fan. I don't think you can deny it. You might not be anymore. You might now hate the Cubs. Enough things have happened over time, but there's still a part of you inside of you that if they're not playing the Brewers, or if they don't have the opportunity to eliminate the Brewers, you aren't hate watching the Cubs.
I am now, though. So that's not true. Back then, I probably can admit that I did not hate watch the Cubs when I was 8 years old or 9 years old or 10 years old.
Sure.
I'll admit that. But I didn't know, right? And back then, we as Brewers fans did not necessarily have the reason we do today to hate the Cubs the way we do today. If there is a guy in my life that has more Trevor stories, it's Jason. Maybe we turn that into a feature. Once a week, I let Jason come on and tell a story from our childhood.
Man.
There's a couple stories that are off limits from our adulthood that have to do with his cabin in the Northwoods.
Sure, of course. Those things are supposed to stay there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. But you mentioned Michael Jordan. He's got a story of me dunking at a neighbor's house with tongue out and, just in all of my glory going up for a big Michael Jordan dunk, and it did not end well. He's got that.
And I'd like to point out, and this is why a lot of people are thinking like, oh, Josh is just look, a lot of people could say I idolized a Chicago Bull, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't watching or caring about the Bucks in the early 90s. Maybe I probably should have been. Okay. I mean, late 90s, Ray Allen, like there were things happening with his team. I was all in on Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
So what's the difference then?
Listen, this is what I'm saying. It's you. I just want you to be able to admit it and live up to it, that you still carry part of that, of what you did as your childhood. I think there were a ton of people that, especially during like the home run steroid era when the Brewers were garbage, enjoyed watching Cubs and Cardinals games because they were watching for Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. They were watching because that was entertaining baseball and it was things that everyone was watching. The thing is that you said, just enjoy this game. Just enjoy watching baseball as a baseball fan.
Back then. That's what I was saying.
No. That's what you told me to do in game 2 of the Cubs and Padres.
No, I said that to you in game 1 because you were losing your gourd when the Cubs went up. And I was like, Josh, our team isn't playing.
No, I can find it on tape if you need. But I literally said, so what do you want me to do tonight? What am I supposed to do?
That was game
1.
While
watching this game. No, it was game 2 on the radio. And you said, just enjoy it. Just enjoy the baseball game. And that's when I went, how? We are two completely different fans. If you can watch that. And I needed to get to the bottom of it. And the reason why you can say that is because you didn't have a lifelong hatred of the Cubs and the Cardinals, as I do. I do not like those teams.
True.
I don't mind the Bulls. The Bulls have never really, it was either Michael Jordan, who I idolized, and he played against aliens with Bugs Bunny, and I could not tell you enough how much I wanted to be like him. Space Jam I've seen a billion times. I mean, that was my childhood, right? But for me, the Cubs and the Cardinals, hate watch always.
Your whole life.
My whole life.
Yeah, not me. And that's all right. You know what? I can accept that. Let's just agree right there, and I think we can probably move on from all of this, that I have not hate watched the Cubs my entire life. As I expected, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line is blowing up. 414-677-1250. There's a couple of good ones in here. Can I start?
No, I got to start.
No. Don't jump ahead. Start with Bear and Beaver Dam. Do you want me to read that?
That's what I was saying. You didn't go back far enough. I want to start with Josie, who said, you guys really are crushing it, and Josh is the best. LOL.
Okay.
Thank you, Josie. Love you. Appreciate you listening. All right, now go ahead.
I thought you were going to start with the top ones.
No, see, I knew you were going to miss that one. So
forgive me for not currently trusting you on this topic.
Oh, we have a trust issue now.
With
okay.
this topic, we sure do.
Okay.
Bear and Beaver Dam. So I missed yesterday morning's show, but I heard Trevor come on with Sparky in the afternoon. What it sounds like to me is Josh manipulated Trevor's words and then bullied him a bit. One thing we can't do in any aspect of life is bully people. So, Josh, do better with your coworker.
Okay. First of all, Bear, where were you yesterday? I need receipts. Second of all, no, listen. First, you missed the entire show. So you missed the first half of the show when my friend Brian and Trevor were going off on me and my fandom. Okay, you missed that. And then it was your Trevor's friend Jason that did this. I had no idea. I had nothing. And then I couldn't have fathomed that the talk and text line was going to just immediately implode on you of this calling you a Cubs fan. They took it from, yeah, well, he used to watch Cubs games as a kid to, he's a Cubs fan.
Son of a...
Yeah, I mean, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And
the 414 has got it right here. It says it's kind of okay to be a Cubs fan as a kid, but to be an adult fan of the Cubs is very unbecoming. I completely agree.
You know, I thought about this too a little bit. It's interesting with Little League, right? Because Little League teams, a lot of time, are MLB teams. And so you might say that your Little League kid plays for the Cubs, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how that works with Little League teams. They play. And
I wonder if Amanda's still listening, because I can't recall if our kids ever played for the Little League Cubs.
No,
I feel like
I know they did the Reds.
My kids did with the Reds, yeah.
Yeah, I know that because I just Facebook stalked you. And
you saw me have a Reds hat on?
Yeah, and it was so good because your dad was the first comment saying, take off the Reds hat. And you were like, and you had to defend yourself of saying it was for his Little League team. And your dad gave you the pass.
And I bought the Reds hat.
Your dad gave you the pass. That was awesome.
Yeah, quick. All right, back to the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line here. There's some good ones. The difference is, when I said, what's the difference between the Cubs and the Bulls? And somebody said, the difference is it's fun to pick on people in a loving way. Thanks, Cubs fan, Trevor. You're right. You know what? I completely agreed with you until that last few seconds. No, it's all good. I love this. And I told Josh when we started this show that I have no problem being the butt of some of these jokes, because frankly, I think that's what this is all about. And buddy, if we're going to have a stupid off, get in line behind me, because I promise you more and more stories will come out about me and my childhood and just the lack of brain cells that I apparently was born with.
Yeah, stupid off. I can run really fast in.
Same scenario as Trevor. Cubs were always on those day games. Didn't like them, though. But only thing I could think of as, why aren't all of these people at work?
Yeah, that's funny.
Here's another one. It says, look, let's be honest. There are players we can like on other teams and still be Brewers fans. I like Freddie Freeman. Me too. But I'm not out here waving his Dodgers jersey around. That's from Ziggy.
Yeah,
that's a good point too.
Ziggy makes good points. However, I liked Freddie Freeman as a Brave. I was okay with him as a Brave. The second he went to the Dodgers, I started falling off a little bit. I think that the team you play for is a part of it.
Yeah, it is. And I like Freddie Freeman.
Do you still like Freddie Freeman now as much as you did when he was a Brave?
No, but I still don't hate Freddie Freeman.
Sure. I don't know that besides the villains, which this is a good circle back, that we brought up in the morning mind dump in the 7:00 hour, besides the players and the people that you specifically can put on a list are Wisconsin villains, I feel like we hate the teams more than we do the players. It's a Jerry Seinfeld bit of, we're just cheering for different uniforms, for different clothes. We hate different clothes. We don't necessarily hate the people in them.
All right, let's play this game real quick before we get to break.
Okay.
Were you a fan of Barry Bonds?
No. And
Roger Clemens?
No.
Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yes.
McGuire's going to be a no. Maddox?
No.
Frank Thomas?
Nah.
Barry Larkin?
No.
Fred McGriff? 2 more.
No.
Albert Bell?
No.
And I know the answer to Andre Dawson. That's my point. I was probably a fan of the majority of those people. So I guess I just watched baseball differently back then. I loved being Andre Dawson. I loved being Ken Griffey Jr. I loved being the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. That was my nickname when I was 12 years old in Little League. They called me the Big Hurt. Why? Because I hit dingers.
Yeah, and you were 9'2" at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. So I loved baseball back then, and I love the good players, and I blame all of this on John Anderson because I woke up every morning as early as I could as a kid, and I watched SportsCenter, and every morning it was John Anderson on repeat in my childhood. He does not like it when I say that, by the way. And this was what you saw. It was all these games and all these players and all these highlights, and it was good. Darryl Strawberry comes to mind. I mean, that's just all good stuff from the childhood.
Yeah.
All right.
We got the text line is blowing up right now. Absolutely blowing up. And I love this because this is healing, which is happening right now on the talking text line. The Nicolay Law fan talking text line is healing right now. And I appreciate that. I want to make sure that we get a few more of these in on the other side because this is good. I think this is good for you. I think it's good for all of us. What's happening right now on the talking text line?
Based on the one I just read, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
No, it's good. These are good things.
Yeah, for you.
No, maybe.
Yeah, one of them's not great for me or you or anything. All right, we'll do it as promised. Next on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll keep reading them, keep getting them in. 414-677-1250. I just got a text from a buddy direct that I cannot wait. I'm forwarding this to you right now. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, the Fan Milwaukee, the website, thefanmilwaukee.com, and the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. We're having a conversation about if it's okay to be a fan of a different team and or players when you were a kid because you were a kid.
Right, talking about childhood.
Yeah, like literal childhood. We're talking 8, 9, 10 years old. You watched sports differently back then. You made note of specific players that you liked, no matter the team they were on. And it also has a lot to do with who was on TV.
Well, and before you get into that, I want to preface that the reason why this is important is because we're learning how it shapes who we are as fans as adults and how we fan, right? So I have to hate watch Cubs and Cardinals.
Yeah.
It was not okay. My brain never let me just enjoy those type of games. It was different for Trevor. Trevor, growing up, watched Cubs games on WGN. I chose, if that was my only option, to play with my Pokemon cards, do something else. I didn't focus on watching sports I didn't want to watch. It was different for him. It impacts him differently at this stage of his life as the Cubs are now playing and he's an adult.
Yeah, and I'm on the radio with a guy like you who is going to beat this like a dead horse.
No, we're having a therapy session. This is good. There's healing happening right now.
There's a lot of good texts that come in.
Yes.
By the way, read the one I just sent your phone.
Okay.
Here's one on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Jacob in Advance says, I'll admit it, I didn't watch Brewers baseball as a kid. I really didn't follow them closely until they moved into Miller Park. On TV only were the Braves, and they were on TBS. So that's it right there.
That's an amazing text.
That's an amazing text.
How do we read that on air without?
So first off, let's comment on Jacob and watching the Braves, and then I'll try to do my best.
Love you, buddy. Glad you're with us. Thank you.
And he's right. I mean, I grew up watching. I was rooting for the Braves to win the World Series back then, actually. And I thought that whole I don't know what you call it in PC world that we live in, but the whole thing that they still do with the tomahawk chop.
Yeah.
I think that was really cool.
I loved Chipper Jones as a kid, man. Loved Chipper Jones because of TBS.
Carter. What was Carter's first name for the Blue Jays?
I don't remember.
Huge home run. He was jumping up and down. It was in the World Series.
No.
I can't think of it either. Yeah. Damn it. All right. I just got a buddy text me on the side here, and I'm going to do my best to read this without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
His name is Justin. He said, oh, man, the last 2 days I've been texting in, and today I finally got a reply. He had some real good zingers about me being which I'm not, but I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah, you almost did.
I am not a Cubs fan, and he said he had some good ones about me being potentially that even when I was a kid. Some of you may know me, and some of you may know Josh from a previous life.
Yes. The street.
I was across the street more recently than Josh was, and now here we are both on the right side of the street together. My buddy Justin was not texting the right talk and text line.
They must have been a little confused.
He got a response today that said, who is Trevor? That is fantastic.
Who do you keep talking about?
It was Joe Carter, by the way. It was Joe Carter.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, just so you know, for your friend Justin and everyone else, go ahead, delete that other one.
Yeah, would you?
Reprogram talk and text line in your phone to 414-677-1250.
414-677-1250. It was Joe Carter. They just saved it. Joe Carter, Blue Jays back in the day. So I have memories like that. And here's a buddy of mine, too, on the side that says, I'm with you. The only baseball I got to watch was Cubs on WGN or the Braves on TBS. And the Brewers were in the AL at that time.
True.
So it's plausible that I can have these memories and not be a Cubs fan as an adult, because I'm not. I just don't have this this hatred, this hate watching that you have.
And I think that's important to bring up here from a text from Rhino here, who says, any team a child is a fan of that adult gets a pass for as a child's fandom is innocent. It's before the toxicity that is associated with rivalries. I think it's super interesting the way that people become fans, especially when they live in the state. You know, like I have a friend and she's a huge Lions fan. And, you know, when I asked her, I was like, why? And it was because her dad really never was into sports, but her uncle lived in Detroit and was a huge Lions fan. And so from just hanging out with him, he got her into football and he cheered for the Lions. Becoming sports fans happens in the weirdest ways. I think the reason why I was, hated those teams so much was probably because of my dad. You know, we going to Brewers games in the 90s, you know, we didn't have a ton of money, but it didn't cost a lot of money to go to a Brewers game in the 90s. My dad and I could go, you could bring your own snacks into the game and you knew they were probably going to lose. So the tickets were dirt cheap. And so we went to a lot of games at County Stadium, but it was always still cheering for the Brewers. Always.
Totally.
And so I think that just kind of helped form who I am as a sports fan, different from you, which is okay.
My love of the microphone is Bob Betts' fault. Bob Betts, one of the OG PA announcers at County Stadium, at least when I was a kid. Remember he used to announce the starting lineup?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Robin Yount, 19, Yount.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right, one more on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. This might solidify putting this to bed right here from Andy in Brookfield.
Yep.
I guarantee that 90% of the listeners in their 30s and 40s have a picture of themselves as a 12-year-old in a Charlotte Hornets, Chicago Bulls, or Orlando Magic starter jacket. That does not mean they will like those teams their whole lives. Mic drop.
100%.
Mic drop.
And you know what? Not only did I have one, my dad had a Bulls starter jacket that then I ended up taking from him when I got older. And then I had that Bulls starter jacket because I associated it with Michael Jordan. And so that's what I'm saying. It's different. It's just different. But I'm glad that we got this out. I feel like this was healing for you. You needed a little bit of just coming to the realization of your Cub fandom, which no longer exists. It is gone. You are not a Cubs fan, but maybe as a kid,
I didn't hate watching
there was a little bit there. There was a little bit there.
What's Up Wisconsin is next, and we'll get to that. I want to know what you guys are doing today. What is up for the rest of your day? What are you watching tonight?
Yeah,
NFL football is back. What's up? Hey, buddy, there's one more thing, though, I want to get to in this segment, and I thought of you yesterday when I saw this. So I'm trying hard to, learn from the Wisconsin Historical Society on some of the dates that matter in terms of the Cubs playoffs. And so I've been checking on a regular basis in regards to, what happened on what date so we can maybe reference some of those things.
Sure.
I found something interesting yesterday, and I wanted to quiz you a bit here.
Okay.
The first Wisconsin State Fair happened
when?
Okay, so this is good. So I wrote down what year, how many counties are involved in the beginning, how many days total was it, how many people total attended, do you think,
I know
what city? I know you're not going to know any of this.
It was 160 some years ago. It was not where it currently is. There was not a State Fair park. It was somewhere more middle of the state and farmland. And it was much smaller. It was a much smaller event. I don't have specifics, but
I didn't think you would, but I thought this was fascinating. You being the State's Fair spokesperson.
Yeah. But we talked about a little bit about a previous life. I used to do a trivia game across the street, and that had me looking up, spending a lot of time on Wikipedia and learning about a whole bunch of things. I don't remember the details, but I remember it's been a long time, and it was not always on the State Fairgrounds.
1851.
Yeah.
The State Fair launched in Janesville. 2 days, 10,000 people, 13 counties involved. Pretty insane. I saw that and thought of you and was like, I I doubt he's going to know the specifics, but see, not all bad things come from stalking a Facebook page.
No.
Like, I very much admire your passion for the Wisconsin State Fair.
And let me tell you, it's not just the State Fair, too. I love Summerfest. I love Wisconsin in the summer because it's, hey, we got 3 or 4 months. We are not sleeping. We are just going to go hard every single day until the cold weather comes. And I love that about our culture and who we are. And just part of that happens to be the State Fair. So I love
the new lineup. I love the new lineup here on the Fan. I hope you do too. You must listen to this lineup. 6 to 9 Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht. Hope you love us.
Hi.
According to the text line, you love us, which I really appreciate.
And we love you too.
9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Noon to 2, the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon. 2 to 5, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. And from 5 to 6, the Fan Postgame Show with Tommy Wartz, which, by the way, has transformed into the Fan Playoff Preview Show with Tommy Wartz and Andrew Wagner. Make sure to tune into that tonight, 5 to 6, here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What's up, Wisconsin? That's next. What's up, Wisconsin? Literally, that's what this segment is. What is up, Wisconsin? What's up, Wisconsin?
What's up?
Got it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
We want to know what's going on with your life. What are you doing today? What are you watching? What are you going to look forward to? Could be sports, could be life, could be nothing. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We feel bad for you. I feel like you should look forward to something today.
Yeah, but you could be looking forward to nothing. You know?
Well, there's something that you need to look forward to, and I would say there's a few some things. So we talked at the top of the show, right after 6 a.m., that for some dumb reason, the New York Yankees and the Red Sox play into what time the Brewers play on Saturday.
Yes.
If the Yankees advance, the Milwaukee Brewers will play at 1:08 p.m. Central. If the Boston Red Sox advance, the Brewers will play at 8:08 p.m. Central. I believe we answered a question that we asked earlier. Do those times stay that way throughout the series? I thought the answer was yes. It turns out the answer is no.
There we go.
How do I know that? Because the wild card series times changed for today. So if you want to watch Detroit and Cleveland, that's game 3. One of them will move on, one won't. That is at 2:08 p.m. Central today on ABC. The game we care most about, the Padres and Cubs, is at 4:08 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Okay.
The one that apparently has to do with what time the Brewers play, whoever wins that game on Saturday, has to do with the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees game.
Yep.
And that one is in prime time tonight on ESPN at 7:08. Those times are different based on the Dodgers and Reds having closed out their series yesterday with the Dodgers moving on to play the Phillies.
2:08, 4:08, 7:08? Is that what you said?
Question mark? Stay classy, San Diego.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Yeah. 2:08, 4:08, 7:08.
Okay.
Tigers, Guardians, 2:08. Cubs, Padres, 4:08. And then Yankees, Red Sox, 7:08. Two of those games really matter to us.
Yeah.
I just don't like that. The Sox and the Yankees, why does that matter to when the Brewers play? That is one thing, if I'm annoyed just for a moment. Can we all agree that Major League Baseball has completely ignored the fact that the Brewers are the best team in baseball with the best record and the overall number 1 seed? Nothing about these.
By that.
No, I'm not. It just annoys me because it's dumb, and it just goes to show exactly what matters most to those big leagues.
Yeah,
with the ties on,
of course.
NFL tonight too, yeah?
Yeah, and so that was the biggest reason why I was upset that they weren't keeping the times the same. I thought, all right, well, here's one positive takeaway from the Dodgers and Reds series being done is now there won't be a late night game going up against the Thursday night football game. Well, they changed all the schedules around, and that's no longer the case. So when you are watching to figure out when the Brewers are going to play on Saturday, because you're watching the Red Sox and the Yankees at 7:08, you're also going to have on TV 2 the 3-1 49ers against the 3-1 LA Rams on Prime. That starts at 7:15. So essentially the same time as Yankees and Red Sox will be Niners and Rams.
Are we a fan of any team this weekend if we're looking ahead for just a second? I noticed that the Vikings and the Browns are playing in London on Sunday morning.
Yeah, go
Am
Browns.
I the only one that wants the Browns to whoop them and go, ha-ha, ha-ha? It's not us.
No, of course. Of course, I would like the Browns to beat up on the Vikings. Yeah, absolutely.
Look at the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. People are understanding the assignment. What's up, Wisconsin? Tell us. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. The first one I see there is from somebody that says, go Foxes. That's my buddy Ian. There is a JV2 game tonight, I believe, for the Fox.
Do you have that? Do you got football tonight? What do you got going on?
I don't have nothing, man. I got exactly what we just talked about going on.
Man,
I got baseball. Nice? It's homecoming weekend this weekend for Fox Valley Lutheran, where my son plays. So there's a lot of things going on with that. They call it a frolic. That was last night. I know there's a JV2 game tonight, I believe. Tomorrow night's homecoming.
Is he
Saturday's
going?
The dance.
Is he going?
Is he going to the homecoming?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a group of dudes.
Hey, that's okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. What, were you saying he shouldn't go if he doesn't have a date?
No. I don't remember that from when I was in high school. I don't remember a group of dudes or a group of girls going together. And apparently that is a very, very common thing.
It's a very common, and even if it's couples, a lot of times now it's like you still are doing a big group.
True. That I understand. That I completely understand. I just don't. And I'm excited. He's going to have a blast. Him and a group of buddies are going someplace. They're putting all the plans together. They're all wearing like the same thing, but a different colored tie to the dance on Saturday. And then they're all going to have a sleepover. I'm all in on that. I just can't help but go,
where's your date?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. But I'm glad that he's not going, well, I don't have a date, so I'm staying home.
It's so fun to watch a 15-year-old boy be terrified of girls.
Oh.
Terrified.
Yeah. That brings up memories.
That's you, huh?
Yeah, we don't need to go there. All right.
Rhino says, I'm looking forward to playoff baseball and Thursday night football. We might go there. I owe you one. A great lineup of sports today. I agree, Ryan.
Yes. Baron Beaver Dam says, I think I have about 3.5 hours of work today. Oh, lucky you. And then straight to the lake. Repeat tomorrow also. Dang, pretty good.
Love this one.
Pretty good.
Church at 6:00 tonight. My daughter is singing. Dude, I'm not sure if you're a church guy, but if you are, those are moments that you will never forget.
Oh, yeah, man.
They sound like a herd of cats when they're in kindergarten. And when they get to 8th grade, if they're still doing that, they don't sing anymore.
No. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Jacob in a van. Josh, if you're able in the future, maybe play our Truth's What's Up intro song.
Oh.
Way ahead of you,
yeah,
bud.
It's a good idea that we
working
had
on it
a while ago.
Almost as if we talked about that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Good idea, Josh. Don't ruin anything on this talking text line. Neither me nor Josh have had the chance to watch Raw from Monday because host of a sports show, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah, I got to catch up on that. The kiddo has basketball tonight, little basketball practice thing he's doing at the Y. So just have that tonight, and then just like every other night, taking care of a baby. But doing that as we watch some baseball and enjoying the end of this wild card series, which, again, I love the fact that 3 of the 4 went the distance. You know,
I agree.
I think this could have been really lame. That's the beauty or of the potential of a 3-game wild card series.
What night do you bowl?
So I bowl Wednesdays, but there's like a team of like 12 of us. So I don't bowl every week.
Ah, you're a floating sub, are we?
Well, it's not. It's more of just like a rotation. You know, everyone gets their opportunities.
What's your average?
I'd have to check. Like 206, maybe 2. It's too high in that league. I'll tell you that.
Sandbaggers. That's right. We talked about
too high. Need to get
I'm excited for the baseball too, and I think that's what I was talking about earlier in the week. I just really love. And I mentioned it today. I love the baseball where every pitch matters. I mean, Was it in the Yankees game yesterday? Was it the Red Sox? Yeah, it was, because the guy got on first. It was Chisholm.
Yeah.
He got walked.
Yep.
That was a walk. Yep. And the crowd went ballistic. And then the next batter, obviously, the double to right and
single.
Mr. Chisholm.
The single to right.
Oh, he didn't make it to second?
I don't think so. I mean, it was maybe he did. I guess I don't know. But like it was a bloop single was the hit. He might have gotten there because the play was at the plate.
Was that Christian that hit that? I think it was.
It might have been. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I was too busy watching Jazz fly.
It was so awesome. All right, enjoy the day, everybody.
Yeah,
this is an awesome day in sports. The NFL comes back tonight. 3 more games, and they matter. And so I don't care who you cheer for or who you cheer against, because you know why? I'm not going to tell you how to fan.
Good for you.
I learned something this week.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. It's at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. You can follow the show as well, Inside Wis Sports. For the love of God, will you save the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line on your phone?
Yes,
414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. We will see you tomorrow.
Because we are not done yet.